Hi everyone, welcome to today's Monday Rapid Fire. Leaving up a little bit later in the day, we've had a larger market move after the weekly close this morning, which is very consequential. I had a look this morning and I was quietly optimistic, quietly confident on the weekly close, which we're about to see in about 5 minutes. That was this morning, that it was going to close above the 20 SMA and also the 10 EMA on the weekly. And weekly is really important because it allows you to step out of a lot of that short-term noise. We all know we're kind of waiting for that close, so the one of the green candles to close above the 200-day moving average around 64,000. We obviously were going to do that, but it's great to see the larger picture. And if we were holding our ground again, but quietly making ground on the 20 and the 10, happy days. So that kind of gives us that bigger picture. And as the day rolled on, we saw a larger kick up, now above 64,000. It was a fairly big short squeeze, which pulled us above 64,000. Ultimately, that doesn't mean anything until we have some consequential closes above that level, but it is really encouraging. And I was super encouraged as well, seeing that Bitcoin's chart here, and there's a bit of noise here, I just want to just delete that. So Bitcoin's chart here, in this section here at least, we have that nice semblance of the higher lows and also higher highs, this new trend that's starting to begin here. So you can see here, these candles over here are higher than the last grouping, and these candles over here are higher than, say, this low that was over here. So if this is going to trend reversal after, say, 7 months of sideways action, this is what you want to see. And hopefully, like we're seeing here, a breakout is beginning to emerge. Now, it's not, I guess, concrete until we get above 70,000. Once 70,000 sort of gets taken and we hover around that region, all hell breaks loose. I'm not even kidding. I think that is when we get that fast acceleration. It could begin to move soon as well when you consider that the polling and general feeling around the US election is genuinely shifting towards Trump, and that's my view on it. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm seeing. So I really think that we're now beginning to see that October beginning to kick in. And it's right at the 14th and 15th that it did it last cycle as well. So mid-month. But all that aside, this is looking incredibly constructive. Now, like I said, I saw a fractal, which I really liked this morning, which okay, it may not have been a fractal, but I thought to myself, all right, with MicroStrategy, and we know MicroStrategy is essentially the stock is almost like a proxy for Bitcoin. If MicroStrategy is doing this, now let me just load it up. If MicroStrategy is doing this while Bitcoin was consolidating, is it potentially front running? So yeah, I just drew the channel there, the same channel I drew on Bitcoin. And you can see they're incredibly similar, sideways, 7-month consolidation going downward. But what's happening with MicroStrategy? It's breaking out. So clearly some big money is moving into MicroStrategy to get proxy exposure to Bitcoin. And that, to me, lends me to think that there's going to be a considerable up move in Bitcoin coming in line with gold already moving, with the liquidity drivers moving, the Trump presidency getting more likely. It all makes a lot of sense. So when I saw that, I thought, okay, this is really constructive, especially on the weekly. Now we can start to look at, to go down to the daily time frame on Bitcoin, what we need to see, and it closed above 64,000. Now, just because 64,000 has been tagged, it doesn't really mean a hell of a lot, although this is an incredibly constructive move. This is a really strong body daily candle that's gone right through the 200-day moving average. So you can see there, this red line here. What it needs to do now is run to that 67, 69, 70,000 region. We're going to have to deal with what goes on up there. But what will be very nice to see will be this moving up and create a new higher high. So you can see then the trend is really starting to move, and this might be that one that really rips through and we break out, exactly like the MicroStrategy chart. So I love that. I love what this is doing. And yes, very, very positive this afternoon. Also, just wanted to shout out before I sign off, guys, is that in the newsletter and elsewhere, we've been talking about how strength breeds strength, momentum breeds momentum. And something like Sui here is just still following that kind of the doodle fractal that I did here, where in bull markets, when a really strong crypto moves higher, it tends to consolidate in an upwards channel and then has the breakout. And what's great about Sui is it's a really easy level to see, which is the all-time high level over here. It's had a breakthrough into a new all-time high. So I think this is going to follow this squiggle pretty much to a T now. If you're in your Elliott waves and things like that, it could line up quite nicely. This nice impulsive move come back and then have its next wave up. And I generally think that's what it's trying to do, just in general TA terms. And I think if this channel, which it looks like it is, breaking upwards, I think the 1.618 level for, say, SUI is definitely on the offering. Now, that would be about anywhere between 3.2 to 3.5 before a pretty significant drawdown. So that's the kind of region I'd be looking to take some serious profits off SUI. I've also seen that on the RSI, I've had a bit of a breakout, which is trying to invalidate the bearish divergence, which was building. And I think I remember saying to the Discord groups is just although we have been genuinely conditioned in in most recent times to think, all right, bearish divergence on a daily time frame, triple peak, all that, it's almost guaranteed to roll over pretty big or a trend reversal. In bull markets, bear divergence, like in bear markets, where you get the bull divergences being invalidated, you get the same thing can happen on the upside. When the momentum is that strong and things are genuinely shifting into new regime, those bearish divergences can be eaten straight through, or it doesn't signal if it does have a bit of a rollover, it won't signal a massive, market drop of 50-60%. It could just mean a shallower dip and then a reversal again, sort of the reload. We move into those 80, 90s on the RSI, come back to the 70 or a little bit lower, then we reload. So this has all the hallmarks of sort of breaking out again for SUI to go to that next leg. Then I would start to get a little bit wary up here because the market cap's starting to move quite higher, and I don't know if it quite warrants that just yet. But then again, this crypto thinks it move really fast and sort of overvalue itself. So I've also noticed some relative strength around Solana beginning to develop, so that's on my radar as well. SUI, if I just pull up here as well, like SUI's got so much additional gas to run, especially on the weekly. It's starting to get to that power zone, which is lovely, but that just means it's strong. So you don't want to sort of jump the shark. That's even the right term there, but you don't want to, I guess, go the early crow and get out of a position that might be something that just you're seeing strength, like PopCap. These things, if they're breaking out all new all-time highs and they're leading the market, you don't necessarily want to get out of them super fast. You actually want to see that the market's telling you something and it's going higher. So while it, in hindsight, there may be, might think to yourself, you take all the profit, you go, I got lucky there, got out before it rolled over. In bull markets, it's a little bit different. If you see the massive strength, you kind of want to run with it in most cases, but you also don't want to FOMO into something a little bit too late. You do want to buy the pullbacks. But just here, this is something that Tom suggested in the graduates Discord. So thank you, Tom, for putting this on my radar. Is the weekly close volume that's just come through. It's just increasing weekly buy volume through an all-time high break. That is what you want to see. You want to see this tremendous energy and volume coming through on these breaks. So this looks really nice, guys. And I think as Bitcoin closes above the 200-day moving average tomorrow, we can start to see some really big moves up. And altcoins, I said there's a lot of energy behind them. If we get a little bit of confidence behind Bitcoin and we start to go north, a lot of these are going to pop. So for the mastermind, I'm going to go a bit more of a deep dive in some of these cryptos today and really look at some of the relative strength that I'm liking and elsewhere some of the opportunities. But apart from that, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this little session here, Monday Market Update. But yes, really liking what I'm seeing. It's very much vindicating our thoughts around some of the more stronger cryptos. They're really paying off, which is fantastic. Some people have made some just immense money. Say SUI here, from the break here, the resistance flip support. If you've been in it since then, you've made 115%. So congratulations. And also PopCat, breaking out all-time high and just ripping higher as well. So have a great day, and I look forward to releasing my altcoin bubble on Wednesday and also the newsletter on Thursday. I think we're going to have a really big back end of October. So have a wonderful day. See you later. Bye-bye.